Hi guys, it's Danny. Sorry I was missing in action for the past few days, but we're good now. We're good to go. So one of my viewers suggested that I make a video about orchids which have interesting leaves. So they're nice to look at even if they're not in bloom. Now this is a personal thing really, but I'm gonna feature some of my favorites and some that are really known for their foliage, maybe to give you some ideas. So I will start with the Paphiopedilum orchids because they are famous, particularly the mottled leaved ones. So this is a Paphiopedilum Modier green. The Modier hybrids usually are easy to grow and have this beautiful mottled pattern. They're easy to find, but of course there are other types of Paphiopedilums which have beautiful leaves. The mottling kind of differs, colors kind of differ. There are some Paphiopedilums which have a red undertone on the back of their leaves. Those are really pretty as well. Generally, Paphiopedilum orchid species or hybrids, some of them have beautiful mottling and they do look very, very nice even if they're not in bloom. And I have here the Modier green, as I told you, and this is an unidentified one, but there's still some patterns, as you can see. I'm pretty sure it's not a Modier, but it was a no ID, so you can have the good luck to have a no ID Paphiopedilum with nice foliage as well. So the first ones on my list, of course, are the Paphiopedilums because they do have beautiful, beautiful mottling. And then we have the Neofinetia falcata. Now, this is really popular in Japan. It is actually grown for its beautiful foliage in Japan, or in that area at least. So even if this orchid has a beautiful flower and a very nice fragrance, the most important thing about this orchid actually is its foliage and its roots. And of course, its pattern of growth. Now, mine is pretty small. This orchid does not grow to be very, very big actually, but it produces multiple fans, and if you have an older specimen you can have a really, really nice show of these beautiful leaves. Now some species actually have some mottling as well. Well, it's not necessarily a mottling, but they do have variegated leaves, which means they have yellowing on the leaves, natural yellowing. So there are a few varieties to choose from, but from the point of view of how it looks like when it's not in bloom, I'd have to say that the Neofinetia does look really, really pretty. And of course, if you put it in a beautiful Japanese type of pot, not necessarily how I have it, and you pot it in the kokedama style, it really looks pretty as it is without a flower. So I would personally place the Neofinetia on the second spot because it really looks pretty. Okay, then I would have to say the Tolumnia orchids. Again, these orchids do not grow to be very, very big, but they have these fleshy leaves to it, and if you have a bigger specimen, it will look more like a bush than mine does. Of course, this orchid has beautiful flowers as well, but the foliage is really not disturbing. I personally do like it, and if you mount it somehow nice, it really does look good. A little bush of Tolumnia, I think, will look really, really nice. Now, there are different types of Tolumnias. Some are more compact than others. Some have longer leaves than others, but they do look kind of good, to my eyes at least. So on the third place, I would actually place Tolumnia orchids, and if you search on the internet for pictures of Tolumnias, you can actually see bigger bushes, and you'll see how pretty they actually look. There is another type of orchid which has mottled leaves, and this is a Phalaenopsis, and it's the species stuartiana. Now, the blooms are not necessarily super pretty, they're white, but the foliage is mottled as well. So if you really like Phalaenopsis orchids and you want to have a special type of Phalaenopsis, the stuartiana really, really looks pretty, even if it's not in bloom. Now, the blooms can be pretty as well, but you know, that's a personal taste, that's a thing. But it is actually known as an orchid that does look good even if it's not in bloom. I personally don't really like the foliage of Phalaenopsis, not even mottled, but if you do like Phalaenopsis, I think the stuartiana will really, really be to your liking. Alrighty, so these were my picks. Of course that I do have some other orchids which I really like from a foliage point of view. I do like the Chysis, but he tends to be kind of large. He's not necessarily famous for its foliage and stuff like that, especially because he is deciduous, but that's just my personal taste. I do like Catasetum orchids as well. I do like this sort of a palm tree foliage they have. It's just in my mind. So really, honestly, it's a personal thing. If you like Phalaenopsis orchids, if you like Oncidium orchids, you'll definitely enjoy them even if they don't have blooms. But today I just showed you a few of the most famous orchids, let's call them like that are known to have great foliage and great shapes even if they're not in bloom. So thank you for suggesting this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to see more videos from me, simply subscribe to my channel. I post on a daily basis. Also, feel free to leave me comments questions or suggestions for other videos in the comment section below and I'll get back to you. If you click on the left side of your screen, you'll be directed to orchidnature.com, where you will find care sheets, identification sheets, and also you can talk to us in the forum section. And on the right side of your screen, you can click to watch another orchid video. Thank you for joining. I'll see you next time. Bye!